J-I-double-N-Y, the Jimmy Britt Show, the Jimmy Britt Show, the Jimmy Britt Show, the J-I-double-N-Y, the Jimmy Britt Show.
Once again, this is the Jimmy Britt Show coming live and direct at you. And today we're going to talk about someone that's very important, an essential worker in the time of COVID-19, in a time where everybody's going crazy, even when some don't believe. But today we have someone here for you that's going to elaborate a little bit on healthcare. He's going to tell you who he is. But let me just introduce his name, Mr. Jonathan Jackson. So Jonathan Jackson, will you please let the people know who you are, what you're about, and what you do?
Hey, I appreciate that, Jimmy. Wow, I'm definitely welcome.
My name is Jonathan Jackson. First of all, thank you so much for that introduction, Jimmy. My name is Jonathan Jackson. I am an essential worker. I work for Weill Cornell Medicine. I am a lead medical secretary for Weill Cornell Medicine. I basically assist with anything patient-related, as far as assist patients that call anywhere from anything with scheduling appointments, referrals, physician switches, prescription refills, you name it, anything patient-related is what I help with. And Jimmy, it's kind of on time that you asked me how I assist people. And you mentioned about how dire the times are due to COVID-19 and people think it's not real. And I thank God that he positioned me where I am, because a lot of people do call, because I screen people. I have to ask them if they have certain symptoms before they're even allowed to even come into the office. And in anything, it could be whether a headache, diarrhea, runny nose, sore throat, body aches, all those are potential COVID flags. And because myself, as you know, back in March, I actually myself was affected with COVID-19. By the grace of God, everything is fine. But God actually positioned me where I talked to numerous people that was crying and worried, and I was able to minister to them and talk to them and comfort them and make them feel at ease, to the point where one patient called me the next day. A week later, I spoke to another patient. She said, "Jonathan, thank you so much. You were right. I'm okay. I thank you. You know, your words were so encouraging." So I thank God for positioning me in that position. And COVID-19 is very real, and people should not take it lightly.
So I think it's fair to say that you are a survivor.
Praise God, yes. To God be the glory, yes I am.
Could you walk us through what COVID-19 was like?
Well, I actually, the day before we actually were transitioning from my job to work from home, due to social distancing, I had like a headache in my eyes and everything, so I didn't really think anything of it. The next day, the day when I was supposed to start from home, I was actually off that day. So I did a video visit with one of my physicians, and she said, you know, you got it, based on my symptoms. My wife had the symptoms for a few days. Thank God, I thank you. We had like that, the headache. I had a fever. We didn't have anything else. And, you know, I had those symptoms, and I just had to just quarantine. I didn't have any breathing issues or anything like that, which was one of the biggest concerns she had. She said, as long as I don't have that, stay home and quarantine, and which is what I did. And I was actually pretty much talking to you every day, pretty much during that time, as you can contest to, you know, and to God be the glory. You know, he just kept me.
So going through this process, it's fair to say that you're more sympathetic to those that may have symptoms, or those that are calling in because of these symptoms, or because they may have this COVID-19. So that makes you a remarkable person. So can you tell us a little bit about how it is to talk to some people with COVID-19 that might be going through it, that might be scared, or might not really understand, and they might be a little confused?
I've actually been in customer service altogether, which is the dealing with people over 20 years. So it varies person to person. I have a philosophy. I have a philosophy in myself where I feel like you always have to, when I speak to people, I try to affect people in such a positive, courteous way that I infect them with that same mood or personality or energy. So me being me, by talking to them, I try to let my good energy and my love and my concern and empathy flow to them. And usually, no matter what they're going through, they do grab onto it. And it definitely serves as a cushion and as a aura of relief to them. And it never fails. And again, to God be the glory. It's just something that God has put inside me, and He has positioned me where I am for a reason. And so by talking to people, I'm able to, minister to them and talk to them and encourage them. And thank God, they've always been receptive and they appreciated it. And, I had this one lady on the phone that was just crying. I told her, I said, don't worry about it. I said, everything's going to be all right. And she was just like, oh, and she just had basically, I think, like a runny nose or something. Because everything now, Jimmy, is like COVID. Like anything, it could be a comic or anything, they flag it as COVID because what's going on. But that was the lady that actually called like a week later and said, Jonathan, thank you so much. She's very encouraging. You were right, I'm fine. So, we laughed and we smiled, on the phone and talked to me. She was very appreciative about it. And I think she actually even reached out to my manager about the experience she had with me.
Going forward, how do you protect yourself? How do you prepare yourself to be strong? How do you build up your immune system going forward? Because there are people out here that are still affected. And you are out there on the battlefield. That's what makes you an essential worker. How do you prep yourself? How do you protect yourself? What is the day like with you preparing yourself for the battle?
Well, my first line of defense that supersedes everything is my spiritual preparation. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm up praying. I'm up praying. Then I do my devotional reading, everything, and I get my spiritual cover. That's first and foremost, because there's from the natural and the spiritual. That supersedes everything. Now, as far as the natural preparation, how do I prepare in the natural? Then I like to come out and get my workout on, and then I like to eat pretty good. Eat pretty good, and as far as I had the COVID-19, I had the antibodies and everything, which shows that I have some immunity and everything, but I still go above and beyond to protect myself as far as mask wearing, social distancing. My wife, commonly used items in the house, we still Lysol them down and spray them down, wipe them down, and doorknobs and things like that, and Clorox wipes. So we just still, I go out when I'm everywhere. I take my hand sanitizer, use my hand sanitizer. When I get the chance, I'm out, I'm able to wash my hand sanitizer. So I still do everything I can because I don't take it lightly. And, it's all about not just protecting myself or ourselves, because sometimes it's people that are healthy and or look healthy that are not symptomatic, and they have the virus and they can go and kill somebody. So it's also about protecting others. So when I see people that's not wearing masks, even if you feel good or you feel it exists, I really think that is a form of ignorance, sadly, and a lack of compassion, because you see that it's a concern and you see what's going on. So I feel like if you want to do that in your own private space, that's fine. But when you're out in public, you should be courteous to other people, no matter how you feel, just to make so other people can feel okay being around you, because you may feel you're okay, but that doesn't mean that you're fine. And even if you are, it may make others uncomfortable. So,
within the climate of difficulty and the culture of fear, there's a light that shines upon us, a fortune of love that reminds us
we can do it. James, lead us in. We're living through it, 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 living through it.
this life, you will have trouble. You can't avoid it, you can't get around it, but you can live through it.
Life is filled with so many ups and downs. Have you ever been there? One day you're smiling, the next day you're fighting to hold back your tears, to hide how you feel. So tired of faking like everything is okay when you know it's not right.
You can't get
no sleep at night.
And now
You may be asking, cause you never imagined, how could this be God? This cannot be God. I can only tell you what he told me.
this is what he told me.
Live through it,
He said, James,
grow through it,
you will.
get through it.
You can make it.
You can make it if you just pray
Is there
through
any
it.
type of vitamins that you take, any type of food preparation, any type of special drinks you take, or is it just water, alkaline water? What kind of things, what kind of nutrition do you use in order to prepare your body against these devices?
Good. I'm glad you asked that. I actually eat pretty much egg whites, 5 egg whites every day, which is the form of protein. I take black elderberry supplements, which is great for your immune system. I actually take my emergency vitamin C. I take that as well. And the water. So you just went with me. I just bought 2 more cases on top of the essential iodine. What I love that. What I think is great. And I just overall try to eat. I try even in the morning. Sometimes I have vegetable omelets. Gotta try to get more vegetables in. So I just try my best to eat the best that I can. Eat my fruits. Eat fruits 3 times a day. You know, eat my nuts, and I eat in portion. I just try just to eat in accordance to what's deemed as having a healthy lifestyle. It's best I can. You know, I slip and I stumble sometimes, but for the most part, I think I do pretty good.
Is there any vitamins that you use?
I actually don't take vitamins, and not to be preachy or to talk down to anyone that takes vitamins. Vitamins actually make up less than 1% of the actual food that you need. So the best vitamin, you can research it. So the best way to get the nutrients you need is through food. Because vitamins, older people over a certain age, then it's recommended that they do. But for the most part, vitamins have like barely 1% of the of whatever it is that it's supposed to be representing. It's best to get the nutrients that if you're looking for vitamin C, then you should get it from natural sources. As I mentioned, I do take vitamin C in emergency and everything, but I still eat my oranges. I eat my bananas for potassium. I eat my apples. So it's best to try to get those vitamins in food as best you can. That's what I try to do. I don't really take vitamins by mouth.